What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Um, a warning to the black female. Imagery. Sometimes talk about as a guy, you talk about women, and sometimes some women understand it, some women don't. But I'm a little late coming out with this, but they did it for dark girls, and they did it for light girls, and women are feeling some type of way. But at the same time, our sisters are not looking long term and look at the big picture. Now, this is what I'm gonna say. In America, the darker you are, the harder you have it, man or woman. But we're not going to an Olympics on pain here, okay? Here's the thing. You women as a group, as black women, y'all collectively throwing yourselves under the bus and getting thrown under the bus at the same time. I'm going to tell you why. Look at your imagery right now. Let's see. Because I waited till after I saw the first episode of Being Mary Jane too. So think about this. 15 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, whatever. But maybe 20. I don't know. I'm jumbled. Excuse me. To now, you got Being Mary Jane. This is Mary Jane's character. This is just imagery I'm talking about right now. Mary Jane's character. Then you have, Scandal, right? Then you have these reality shows. Then you have these shows where the sister is the sidekick to another white guy. Scandal, she was a side piece, but the other one, she's a sidekick. And this, then you have Empire. Thank you. That's what I was trying to do. Empire. You got Nutcase, right? Because it's a new show. Now, ask yourself this question, because we bring Bill Cosby in the mix because of all those shenanigans. So, would Claire Huxtable actually sit in the same room with those women? With Vivian Banks, as far as imagery, right? Sit in the same room with those women. With Dee, which was the mother of Moesha, sitting in the same room with the, with the Kerry Washington, with the Olivia Popes and all that. With Mrs. Winslow, I think it's Harriet, or I remember Parenthood. I remember that with Robert Townsend. I'm missing a show. Tisha Campbell when she was with My Wife and Kids. Would those women be put in the same room with the women I mentioned at first? No. Completely different type of women who would not be involved with each other. But here's the issue with imagery. You don't see how you're sabotaging yourselves while you're celebrating these shenanigans, because the colorism plays into the imagery. You know why? Nene will be considered dark skinned. Crazy as a motherfucker. I guess what? Olivia Pope or Kerry Washington or would be like in the middle. And even though they canceled that show, Sorority Sisters, I can go to the Basketball Wives and any other housewife show or Love and Hip Hop show, and it's all and light skinned chicks are acting crazy, just for no reason. Which reality shows are more damaging because you can't look at it as a reality show and consider it entertainment, or they're acting at the same time because of this one fact. Excuse me. They're using their real names and acting like and portraying themselves as acting like themselves. So, sisters, I'm warning y'all to pay attention to y'all other sisters, because now you're getting women of all complexions looking crazy. Now you're getting women of all complexions in every class looking crazy. Thus the the show with the doctors and the doctors' wives. You know, they're supposed to be upper echelon. They had the one something in heels in New York, and they were supposed to be business entrepreneurs. So it was the sorority sisters supposed to be entrepreneurs, businesswomen, and whatnot. And then you got the housewives. Then you got, you know, Love and Hip Hop and those type of shows. And you got Scandal when she's supposed to be working in the White House, and you got shit, I can't even think of it. Me and Mary Jane was supposed to be a news anchor, and then you got the Empire chick, Taraji P. Henson, who's supposed to be a record executive, old gangster record executive lady, which that don't even fucking make sense. So, and you throw into that a lot of your kids are effeminate, the boys. The girls are too fucking hard, and they don't even know how to be women. And it's like a grown princess mentality. So as a whole group, they got y'all looking crazy. And while, mind you, doing this little covert imagery to you need to be with a white guy, you need to be with a Hispanic guy, you need to be with an Asian guy. You know, that will work out in your benefit if you wasn't being portrayed in such a bad light. You see, those guys would have loved Claire Huxtable, Vivian Banks, Harriet Winslow, Dee. You know, I forget her name, Mrs. Kyle, because that's what Tisha Campbell was Mrs. Kyle. I forgot her first name, but they'd love that. And you see, those are different shades of women. You get what I'm saying? From dark to light, it really didn't matter. But you're being portrayed as somebody who's wanted and who needs to be with a different type of person. At the same time, you're being portrayed as crazy. So nobody wants crazy. They'll have sex with crazy. They'll have fun with crazy. You ain't bringing crazy home. You ain't marrying crazy. You ain't wifing crazy. So part of this imagery problem is the fact that a lot of y'all sisters are not a champion in being champions for this back-to-back negative imagery. And you could say you say that about the guys. The problem with the guys is that's a little bit different is, for one, we don't have a colorism problem, so we're pretty much more unified on that note. And for two, we have boundaries. Everybody ain't accepted in. Like, if you do some suspect character stuff, you might be on your own, you know, respectfully or disrespectfully. That's the way it goes. That's why I started this thing talking about with like Claire Huxtable be sitting in the same room with Olivia Pope. No, would have nothing in common. She would not even. She'd be like, man, look, I got get this raggedy heifer from around me. I don't even want her aura in my space. And because of the acceptance of that, you they're putting y'all in a box of all nutcases, and unfortunately, you might not listen to me because I'm not the color of the person you listen to. Sometimes I don't know. I mean, sometimes y'all listen to brothers, but for most part, you know, y'all gotta learn the hard way, and then y'all listen to brothers. Unfortunately, but y'all need to step back from this. Really step back from this because it's not conducive to y'all as a group. Because they're saying dark skinned women are crazy and got self hate issues. They're saying the medium complexions are crazy, got self hate issues. They're saying the lighter complexions are crazy, got self hate issues. Says the Hispanic ones that are black who toe the line like Hispanic and is a race, but when they just black people who speak Spanish or Portuguese, they out there being crazy, and you see them getting pushed more for being nutcases too. So which spills over actually into the Hispanic community of people who are not of African descent, because now they're like, God damn it, it used to be a spicy hot Latina, now it's just that crazy Latin chick. So anything with any kind of African blood in it is becoming nuts in imagery, in perception. So don't support everything. Don't just don't support everything. I know, y'all want to see yourselves on TV, but I do applaud the sisters for coming together with the sorority sisters thing, but at the same time, I would be remiss if I would say that I think some of these other women on these other shows are in sororities too. It ain't just K Michelle who still has a show and is in a sorority. It's some of these other sisters are in sororities too, and they fucked up. You should get them shows banned too. You should really get them shows put off the air too, because if you're gonna be a sister in sisterhood, be a sister in sisterhood all the way. Don't be a sister in sisterhood depending on which Greek letters you represent, because the imagery of y'all is really getting effed up out here. I'm out.